This is Connective Communication from Niche Dental. I'm Dick Schwalik. Let's go over key points of what connective communication is. I'm going to show you some results for my client. Actually got an email from them the other day. This is mid-August 2011. They were asking about the postcards, starting a new agreement, and we're getting ready to sign it. They're concerned about the situation. That is it worth it? If I was running a campaign, I would want to make sure that I'm not doing things because somebody says I should do them, that it's actually helping me build my practice. You've got to be sure of that, and we track that. We try to track as much as possible. Mostly we try to make sure that the connective part is working. The reasons you have all these things, the reasons for having them, are showing up in the data. When you are using this marketing, you know that each element has an effect on the audience, and the other elements cannot have that same effect. Each part of the connective communication system, and that top level effect for postcards is it gets into the head of the household's hand, at least one of them 98% of the time, 95% of the time. They look at it, whether it's for 2 seconds or put it in their drawer, which some people do. Watch for a video with a client talking about the in-the-drawer phenomenon. They get this effect that it's going to be tactile. We know it's going to have an effect on their brain. People that need a dentist right now, it's going to have the most effect. The people looking for the right kind of dentist, and that postcard says you're the right kind of dentist for them, it's going to have an immediate effect on them. And then you have around 50% of the population that's not going to the dentist. And then, as I've said before, 40% of that 50% is high income. It's not just people that can't afford it. So you have people that can afford the dentist, people that aren't going, this availability factor that I talk about also in one of my videos. So you put all that together, and that's part of what connective communication does. The postcard is that element that you can't get from anything else. It's individual. It gets in your hands. You touch it, you look at it, even if you throw it away right away, you've seen the postcard. These are large postcards, about 10 by 8, so they're big, they stand out, they're powerful, they're full color, they attract the audience that you want to attract. And what's great is each postcard is built for you. The whole campaign is built for you. You decide how it is. Now, it's like any other type of system that you put together. Dentists want you to brush, floss. They want you to go to the dentist twice a year, maybe more, to get restorative work when you need it. And if you need orthodontic work, that there's a place for that. And if you skip these steps, there could be drastic situation, periodontal disease, lost teeth. So you can't get rid of any of these steps. You might not need all the things that somebody else needs. Somebody might need to go for periodontal care 3 times a year or more for a while, forever, because of their situation. For you, it might be less. This client has had superior results. But the economy, they want to make sure these elements are working together, that the cost isn't over and above what it should be for what they need to do. This is Connective Communication from Niche Dental. Just so you know how the connective communication elements stack up, these are the 5 things that you're going to have inside of that, 4 or 5, depending on how you approach the situation, that I think are almost mandatory to make this connective element work. You don't have to do all of those, but it's like the dentistry. You have to do those things if you need them. If you think you don't, but you do, the connective element is going to falter, if not completely fail, because there's not enough impetus to get it done. And those 5 things are your website, online presence, online marketing, direct mail, getting things in people's hands, and then it's the outdoor and/or out-of-home type of marketing, from the billboard to a newspaper or radio type situation. And finally, that addendum to that, but I think is very necessary, which is making sure you're at a development stage internally with your marketing, with your team, with your website, with your designs, with your brand. Keep it moving along at a pace that's appropriate and in a style and a fashion and a competency that's going to work for you. So you might need some consulting. That's what I do. Management. Ali helps me with that. We also work with management consultants on making sure the team situation is right, and then we're designing and developing things at an appropriate time and giving you guidance throughout that. And you can pick from the coaching level, which is the basic information, and you can add to that and/or management, and then the higher level consulting, where it's an ongoing presence of really getting in and helping you work through those things, where coaching is more of a giving you information, talking you through, presenting you with ideas that you can go a la carte with possibly. But you need to do this on a consistent basis. If you do it halfway here and halfway there, the connective part does not work. Niche Dental and Connected Communication. I'm Dick Schwalik. NicheDental.com. What happened was I was sent an email the other day. The person that helps out the client was asking me if it was worth it to start the new campaign if we were really getting the results, and they had some change in their situation, and so people are re-looking at it. The client is kind of zooming along with their thing. They bring somebody in and they're also helping with it, and so I'm presenting this again to this person. They're saying, is it really worth it? We're paying this much. It's a little over $1 per card. What happens is you have this trend line of things going, and they're going well for this client, very well. But they're wondering, is there a way in this economy, in this situation, if there's a way to trim things down and that maybe we don't need this, we don't have to go by horse and buggy anymore, can we move to this? And maybe that would be less expensive. And so we're always working through those issues. In this situation, it was a postcard, which comes out to a little over $1,000 a month. And they're getting approximately 1,200 cards a month. What happened was, I'm looking at it over time. I know it's working, but I'm going to go do a detailed report, and I get a little overly detailed, but basically I'm doing this to show what's going on. And so if you look at the chart, it's showing the patients over this 2-month period, and these are actual appointments scheduled. They've scheduled appointments, and these are new patients. There's 55 of them, a little bit less than 2 months, and actually it's only a month and a half because they were on vacation first part of July. So you're looking at 55 patients instead of 40 work days in 2 months. You're looking at 30 work days, maybe 28. And so this is a very good number of new patients. So how is a connective element helping? Well, you look at the blue, there's 18 patients, 18 of the total of 55. I'm almost 99% sure that they got the card, and that is one of the reasons that they came in there. They got the card, they got it before they came in, it's verified, it went to their address, and we don't send to everybody. We send to select houses, we pattern that out so we can see the effect and we can keep it rolling. So this group, 18 of them got the postcard. The next group in the green is another group of patients that were scheduled that potentially got one of these cards. Maybe they saw the neighbors, came to their area, maybe it accidentally was delivered to their house. Can't verify it totally, but there's a good chance we were mailing in this area at around this time. So maybe 3 of those 10, you're getting up over 20 patients out of the 55. So you're up almost near half. Now you look at the blue and say, who got referred? They did an interview survey. Only ones that didn't say anything, I put PC for postcard in there. They got a postcard. They didn't say anything else. The other ones with the blue dot are the ones that it was either a friend or it was a specific patient or as a team member referred those people. Of those 18, 10 of them were referred by someone else. So now you have 2 referrers, at least the postcard and the referrer on there. So you have that group is double connected. Then you go, the next level is this, what I call the second generation. One of the referrers was actually a postcard patient from what we can tell. So you get a postcard patient referring a postcard patient, and you can see where that connection, it's like saying, I wish my grandfather was never born. Well, that wipes out a whole series of people and you. And so you don't want to necessarily quit the postcards because they're creating patients after creating patients after creating patients. And you look at the ones down below in the lighter blue, the 26 unknown, there's possibly more information we could get on them, but there's a good likelihood that 1 or 2 of them also got it, if not more. We just don't have the data to cover that. Sometimes they call on a different line, and it's just not routed correctly, and we just don't have enough data to figure out where they come from. That's basically what we're trying to do. As we connect this all up, they start drawing in people. We have this availability of patients that we can get to, the people that aren't going to the dentist, the more upper income that aren't going to the dentist, the ones that haven't found a dentist, the right kind of dentist, the right place. That availability group, we can power them through all these connective elements. They get a postcard, then they see your billboard. They see it every day. 1 postcard, once a year, but they see that billboard all the rest of their lives to a certain extent. That isn't a powerful connective element, and that's what we're looking at. They go online, who are they going to look for? You first, right? Because they know you. They know you through their direct mail. They know you. They've met you. You're their friend. And that's what we're going to keep doing with this. You look at the data here, you say, I want to make sure. Well, this makes sure 1/3 of his patients coming from postcards in this 2-month growth. And that's what's been shown over all along. Bringing in almost 33 new patients per month for over 2 years. That's a huge benefit to any practice. And it's not guaranteed, but you look at the process, you look at the system, and it shows how it moves people along. And that's what you have to believe in. You don't have to believe in what I do. You have to believe in the fact that communication does work, and you need to improve that communication process. Get it out there. Create something that's better than what you have now, that tells people about you on a consistent basis, does some real things, gets in their hands, and they can talk about it with their neighbors. and it'll move them ahead that next step faster. They'll come in a week faster, a year faster. They'll go to you instead of the next door dentist. I mean, it's all these effects that you create by pushing them towards making a decision. Nobody has to make a decision, but if they have no information and they never get it, they're not going to make those kinds of decisions, especially in your direction. You move them in your direction. That's what connective communication is. Set up your system, move it ahead, keep it moving, and I'll show you how to do it. Talk to Ollie. He'll set up an interview with me, and we'll get things moving. Thank you. I'm Dick Schwalik of Niche Dental. This has been a connective communication presentation. Find out more at nichedental.com.